Oh, he had a lot to say. He couldn't wait to vent. He was telling 50 how the nigga Jim Jones arm rent.
Battle Fab and Banks in a battle like we do it, right?
Right.
Who you got?
Space.
Fab or Banks. You know what I'm saying? In a battle like we do it.
That's one of my favorite rappers of all time. So.
Fab got him. I'm telling you, bro.
Money in the bank. I'm chilling.
I talked to these two gentlemen too.
Uncle Murda is clearly firing shots at all of 50's opponents on his new 2025 wrap-up, and it's loud already. He seems to aim straight at Jim Jones and Maino, throwing slick disses and clowning their situations, while also teasing a possible future move with 50 Cent himself. That alone has people watching closely because it feels calculated, not random at all. The big question is this: is Uncle Murda setting the stage for what's really coming next from G-Unit? Is this just a warm-up jab before the real punch lands on the Let's Rap About It podcast side? And what does 50 have lined up behind the scenes right now? This feels strategic, not rushed, and the timing says everything. What stands out even more is who didn't really get touched. Fabolous only gets a light mention for talking slick, but no real shots came his way at all. Dave East wasn't mentioned once, which is wild in itself. Murda also hints that if 50 drops an actual diss, he might jump on the track too, keeping it quiet for now and saving the surprise, which makes this situation even more tense. I did say earlier that 50 might have been on this wrap-up, but clearly he wasn't, and that makes sense. If 50 Cent had actually been on that track, the whole situation would have gone nuclear instantly. Still, that doesn't mean nothing is coming, because it's officially 2026 now, and 50 already said he had a response locked and loaded. While 50 is allegedly cooking something up behind closed doors, Uncle Murda didn't wait around and jumped straight into action, with the shots flying early. And those shots started right at Jim Jones. No hesitation at all. A big part of that energy ties back to Tony Yayo, especially with podcasts on the way. So Murda made sure Jim felt every bit of that disrespect. Just when it seemed like the dissing was done, he also aimed at the Let's Rap About It podcast, mostly focusing on Maino was the first one to clap back after 50 labeled them squatters, bringing up claims about unpaid rent tied to the podcast building. 50
Jim Jones told Joe and Jay that he better than Nas, said he had more Billboard entries than Nas too. The lie detector test determined that was not true.
Even hinted he'd buy the place if the money didn't get handled, and apparently Jim ended up paying, which only made things messier. And guess what? Uncle Murda made sure to bring it up loud and clear. Make sure you hit that hype button, because this part matters.
You said my nigga Yayo broke, he not though. I was just with him eating smoked duck in Morocco.
When you really listen, these were light jabs aimed mostly at Maino, not really anything serious toward Fabolous at all. There was zero mention of Dave East. So this whole thing stayed focused on Jim Jones and Maino, and now Maino is clearly the one reacting. So what happens next? Murda actually tells us exactly what his move is if 50 Cent decides to jump in. Right now, Murda is popping his ish, no doubt about it. But let's keep it real. This wasn't some earth-shattering diss where everything gets flipped upside down. It was calm, controlled, and calculated. Overall, the wrap-up itself was solid.
We called them niggas squatters and Maino got mad about it. Maino put a curly hair picture of 50 up, and the nigga Jim Jones landlord called 50 up.
Different style than Murda usually uses, but it still landed. Was it his best ever? Nah, but it was clean, focused, and effective. The real takeaway is those small jabs, because they feel like a setup. It feels like Murda is warming everyone up for something bigger coming from 50. The new year just started, and 50 doesn't stay quiet long. He's not the type to let this slide.
They put a freestyle out, all four of them. Fab shit was slick, but right now 50 ignoring them. If he do respond, I might be on that song with him. Tell the engineer to punch me in when he done recording them.
And how he responds next is the real question hanging in the air right now. Truth is, nobody really knows what's about to happen here. A lot of people are already talking crazy, saying 50 Cent is scared or that he's not going to respond at all. Others think he might tap back into that OG G-Unit mindset and shake things up the old way. Right now, it's all speculation, nothing solid. For all we know, the podcast could even get shut down or switched up. And if that happened, would it really be fair? That's debatable. Everybody keeps saying keep it hip-hop and wants to hear everything on wax. But let's be honest for a second. We don't always get what we want. It's not the early 2000s anymore, even if people miss that era where every call out had to get a response. If we're being real, 50 isn't obligated to answer anybody. He doesn't have to do a thing, and that's just facts. Now, with that said, let's not act like 50 doesn't enjoy being petty enough to jump in the booth if the mood hits. He hasn't been dropping music to chase billboard spots or radio spins lately, but he has been recording for shows, movies, and soundtracks behind the scenes. That's a different lane, but it still keeps him active. The real question is this: does 50 flip the switch and go full demon time like back in the day? Or does he let this one slide and keep it moving? That's what everyone's waiting to see right now. Are we really about to see a full-blown comeback diss like How to Rob mode all over again? Probably not. People keep swearing they already heard something like a ghetto Fab moment, but I'm not buying that at all. One thing is for sure though, 50 Cent is always gonna make noise his own way, on his own timing. That man is not scared, let's be real about that. We also gotta recognize who the bigger brand is here. If 50 decides not to respond, is that really a loss? Nope. Most people won't even remember this situation a few months from now. Everybody gets their little moment, and that's just how it goes. This whole diss talk from the Let's Rap About It podcast fades fast if 50 never acknowledges it. The only way it stays alive is if 50 reacts in any way at all. Now, if he does respond and the internet isn't impressed, then maybe people try to spin it as an L. But let's be honest, it's incredibly hard for 50 to take a real loss when the internet already leans his way. He's got leverage, influence, and attention on lock. That's power. Just look at the bigger picture. Vegas picked 50 to perform on New Year's Eve. They're not calling Fabolous for that slot. They're not calling Jim Jones either. That alone tells you exactly where 50 still stands right now. They're not picking Maino, and they're definitely not picking Dave East either. Let's keep it a buck. In today's climate, not enough people are fully locked in with them like that. Does that mean they don't matter at all? Nah, not exactly. In the music world, they still have their lane, but right now, it's limited. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is never irrelevant, and that's just facts. You feel me? 50 stays ringing bells no matter the era. He's actually been the most streamed New York artist for the 3rd year in a row, which is wild but not shocking at all. It's 50. We've seen this movie before. His name, his brand, his celebrity just keeps getting bigger, and that's exactly where his leverage comes from. That power matters. Now, the real question, does he respond? Nobody knows for sure, but it feels possible. Uncle Murda is low-key hinting like, if 50 gets in the booth, I'm right there with him. That energy is clear. Maybe we end up with a new G-Unit style track. 50, Murda, maybe Tony Yayo. Who knows? Is that enough to shut everything down? That depends. If the bars hit harder, if the energy is higher than what we just saw, then that's a clear W in my book. The real mystery is whether we're about to see a modern G-Unit run. No Young Buck, no Lloyd Banks, just a new version moving different. So where does this really leave everything right now? Honestly, it feels like we're in that quiet before the storm phase. 50 Cent is sitting back, watching reactions, letting everybody talk themselves into corners. That's usually when he strikes, not when the noise is loudest. This whole situation only stays alive if 50 decides to touch it, and that decision alone controls the entire narrative. Uncle Murda already showed he's locked in and ready if the call comes. That tells you everything you need to know about where G-Unit's head is at right now. The other side can talk, react, podcast, and debate all day, but none of it really moves unless 50 moves. So now it's a waiting game. Does 50 let this fade out quietly, or does he step in and flip the board just to remind people who still runs the temperature online? Either way, one thing is clear. Everybody's watching his next move, and when it comes, it's gonna shake something, guaranteed. So is that lineup really enough to stop the other side, Lobby Boys, Fabolous, and everybody attached to that energy? I honestly don't know, champ. We're gonna have to see how this plays out in real time. The bigger question is this: how do you think 50 Cent is about to come based on how Uncle Murda is moving right now? Do you feel like something wild is about to drop any day now? Maybe even this week? Time is ticking because all it takes is one new headline for this whole thing to get buried. That's just how fast the game moves. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments, for real. I'll be covering everything that happens, no matter which direction it goes, because this story isn't done yet. And gang, do me a favor, subscribe to Dripzine, like this video, share it, drop a comment, and click that hype button. It's free, it helps the channel grow heavy, and I truly appreciate every single one of y'all tapping in.